fuck was that?
All right. Welcome to What the Fuck Did I Dream Last Night? I'm Jaynee.
And I'm Jess. Hi, guys.
Hello.
It's crack-a-lackin'.
So I have something I need to start off with right away. I was listening to the radio in my car the other day, and they were like talking about like dreams or something. I don't know. I caught like the very end of like this conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And there's this lady who isn't friends with one of her friends anymore because she kept dreaming that her husband was cheating on her with that friend.
Ooh.
And I think that's just crazy. And Joey brought this up when he was on the show.
Mm-hmm.
And because he asked if he should hold grudges or like keep just back in his mind that the one guy was like a killer in his dream. And I was like, no, you can't do that.
Yeah, I remember that. And we were talking about just like how it's hard what you were talking about, it's hard when you wake up to not like be angry at that person, or like if your spouse cheated on you in your dream, you're just like, it's such an icky feeling. I hate those dreams.
Uh-huh.
I don't know though. I mean, at the same time, it's probably really hard to see that friend like over and over again if it's like a vivid dream. I mean,
and if it's like reoccurring too.
Shit. Yeah, I mean, at what point are you like, all right, what the fuck's going on?
I feel like one, I would just be like if I dreamt about you and my husband, I'd be like, dude, well, maybe because I'm just very open about our dreams, but we have a podcast about it. But I just feel like I would be like, hey, stop sleeping with my husband in my dreams. Like, I feel like she just needs to like confront it in real life so then maybe it won't keep happening.
That's true. I don't know. I mean,
and I don't mean like confront like
and there's also, I think if it's a recurring dream, like what's going on there? There's something. I mean, come on, man.
So then that's what I was thinking, and I even wrote this down. I was like, again, like maybe dreams are telling us more, because I do like believe that in a sense that dreams are telling us a lot. But then, like, if that's the case, then my marriage is literally in trouble because I hate my husband in my dreams. I don't hate him, but he's just never there. I can never find him. He's gone. He's mad at me. Like,
Cam's, I guess, not in my dreams all that often. Like, he is, but I don't know. It's pretty much always like you, Tara, G, and then sometimes people I work with. Like G's brother's in them a lot, because it seems like it's mostly people that were from
your past,
my childhood time, in like teenage years.
I am all over the place.
But I don't know why. I mean, I guess Cam's in them. He's definitely in them, but like the vivid ones that seem to stick with me, I think usually take place about something from like we said childhood or school, or like something.
Yeah.
Probably like before I met Cam. I don't know. Huh. Never thought about that. Apparently I just don't care about my husband in my dreams. Sorry, babe.
I mean, I feel like I would rather not care about him than like never be able to find mine.
Yeah, or like, some kind of other messed up stuff.
Or he's like cheating on you with one of your good friends.
He's in them. No, he's in them, but
you talk to him about him a lot in the dreams, and it's never like...
I feel like it's like you, Tara, and G, though, are just like always in my dreams all the time.
See, I think that's funny that like now that we're talking about this, like I really do, like I do dream about a lot of the high school people. Like I did just recently had another dream. You were in it, and so was the one kid that I dream about all the time that passed away. Like he was in it too, and that was another like high school setting one.
Well,
but I seem to dream about like either everybody or like I don't know. I feel like I'm all over the place with my dreams. Like sometimes I know people in my dreams, other times in my dream I know them, but
so I want to keep track of this because I was saying, I'm noticing like memories and recurring things like that in dreams. And since I've been keeping track of my dreams, like that kind of helps you be more conscious of your dreams. And that's why I said I think I would probably be able to be a lucid dreamer when I'm able to like appropriately dedicate the energy and effort to it, because I'm noticing in my dreams like I'm consciously like, oh, I had a dream about this before, or like I'm oh, me and Jaynee talked about that, or like, I can't wait to talk about this.
Yeah, like in my dream today, I'll talk about that at the very end of mine. I'll
Mm-hmm.
mention that.
So anyways, but I wonder if that like ties in, like, we have a lot of the same people in our dreams over and over again. And I wonder if it's because like when you're in your dream, you have like this
Just is it
like
like your
dream
dream world?
memory. Yeah,
Yes,
like your dream
like
world and like your dream memory. So, because I'm like dreaming about a lot of very similar scenarios, and they're usually the dreams that I remember well enough to talk about on this show. So
mhm.
I don't know if it's because I'm talking about them that I'm able to like go back to them in my dream,
Yeah.
or if it's just reaching from a place that's like very concrete and available, like in my dream world part of my brain. I don't know. And I keep talking about how I want to do this episode, but I want to kind of gather more like data, if you will. Like,
Yeah.
I just want us
That
to,
makes sense.
as we continue to do this, so I can kind of like draw examples and
Uh-huh.
make it like a productive episode. It'll probably turn into like something we revisit, but
Yeah.
I promise I'm doing it, guys. I just it's kind of like the longer time goes by, it's really interesting. So
Mhm.
yeah, I'm excited for it.
Yes.
Yeah. All
But
right.
I put a poll on Twitter about I'm gonna go back here a little bit about if people hold grudges, because I want to see what other people say. Um,
I have another good one too, but I'll just say it to you.
I heard the bidding.
The bidding.
Uh,
The bidding happened, guys. Do the bidding dance. Take a drink if you're drinking. The
I'm
bidding
drinking.
dance.
I'm drinking Gatorade.
I got my LaCroix. It's
Oh, look, you're
my
not even drinking.
I fake my mind into thinking this
I
is
have my
normal.
Gatorade in a beer glass with
Yeah,
ice.
I'm a big fan of the placebo effect. I swear that's all I need. Just
No,
something that's not water, and I'm like, woo.
yeah, like if I go out now, or if I go out, like if I hang out with my sister,
Mhm.
I just drink bubbly in a can. I'm like, okay, I'm
Exactly. That's
good.
what I do.
Yep.
um, well, I'm interested to see what people say on Twitter to that one.
Me too. And I know this episode will come out later, so tell me your thought. Like if you didn't see that on Twitter, didn't get to respond there, like tweet at us, email us, or whatever, because I want to know
Yeah.
about if you hold grudges or whatnot. One
Now, if
other
you hold
thing,
grudges in real life or in your dreams,
no, in real life,
and how they correlate, and if you
yeah. Oh look, I
do
got all
they
fired up.
draw?
You
If
were
they
talking.
draw into your dreams, this is just leads to a whole new discussion.
I know you were talking to like our listeners, and I thought you were talking to me, and I got like all fired up, and I don't know why, but
She's all jacked up, guys. I'm Mountain Dew. I mean, Gatorade. Dang it.
all jacked up in my Gatorade.
Oh, I'm doing a lot of Will Ferrell references today. I made a stepbrother. Oh, that was never mind. The stepbrothers reference I made was when we tried to video before this and it didn't work out, and I said I didn't know what to do with my hands. So
Yeah.
never mind, guys.
Listen, Hayne, like so we're videoing on our phone again, like we normally do, and she's fine with this. But if it's on, and we weren't even going to use the video, I was just trying to do it on the website just to eliminate one category, one screen in
I
front
don't
of us.
know.
And Hayne's like, we tried to start it, and I was like, welcome, blah 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 blah, and she just like stopped.
I like clamped off,
And
and
then
got
then
so
she's like,
awkward.
I'm Jess. And I was like, oh, okay, is this our first time?
It's super awkward. What's even funnier about that is we on the student news, like in middle school, I was like an anchor person, and then I did like the morning announcement. Like, I don't know, like I don't mind talking in front of people. Like I'm not fearful of that, but apparently it's like seeing a video of myself. I can't do it.
And she's all worried. I'm like, oh, I already X'd out the video. Like, I don't even know what I look like. I'm on my notes screen. But whatever.
I don't know what it is. I don't know.
We will get there. I will get her there. I was just trying to get her to practice a little bit there.
One
But
day,
hey.
maybe I'll just drink something that's not LaCroix, and then I'll loosen up.
Have you watched Behind Her Eyes yet?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
So I haven't seen them all. This is
Okay,
like
then
a Netflix pitch for the day, guys.
we can't talk about it yet until you watch till the very end.
Yeah, and we'll have to put a spoiler alert before that, but
Yes, everyone needs to go watch that. And when you watch it, tweet at me so I can talk about it because I'm like
you're gonna
literally
read the
obsessed.
yeah, you might read the description and be like, what does this have to do with dreaming? But it's actually super relevant because she told me at first to watch it because dreaming, and I was like, I don't understand. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
because the description doesn't say anything. Like, I wasn't ready for that. I just was like, it was in like, and that's why we drinks like group, like someone was talking about it, but I didn't want to read it. I'm like, oh, I should watch that. And I got into it. I was like, okay, this is really good. Then I was like, whoa, hold
Yeah,
on. This is all up my alley. This got it all.
and it does circle back to dream memories a little bit. So
It
yeah,
does.
I'll have to put that in. But anyways, stay tuned. And if
Yes.
you haven't seen it, watch it so
Watch that so we can
we
talk
can
about it.
join.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, what you got? What you got?
All right. So I'm naming my dreams now, or
Nice.
titling them. So this is not an exciting name. This is called the simulation.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Any trigger warnings or anything?
No.
No. Okay.
I will tell you the end of like the end of the dream kind of gets like a little PC, like we don't know, not like
Like
politically correct.
choppy or like PC? Like okay.
I know, sorry. Like it gets a little like, how did you jump from this to this? I don't know,
Oh,
but
that's
that's
okay.
just
Well, that's what we call fast forward.
yeah, I
I
don't know.
literally write fast forward.
I used weird things. I don't know. Anyways. All right. So I'm in this like large class with people and we're all sitting at tables. There were like 4 tables and we're sitting around the tables. Ding. So I find out that we were all teachers in this room. We're taking turns. We're going around saying what we teach and like what our education is.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of these teachers had like their doctorate in teaching. So like this is like a room full of like real smart like go-getters. Like it wasn't, I don't know.
Like or like collegiate, like
Yeah,
level, like legit.
yeah, it was just like a, I don't know. That's just what I put. Not that
very like yeah, well like yeah, I got you.
Don't everyone take that to heart. So
yeah. Just like they're like an advanced degree.
Yes.
So, yeah.
So when it was my turn, I said that I taught psychology and something else, and I want to say it was physics. Like I feel like they were both like started with a P.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I didn't even take psychology. Definitely didn't take physics.
I cried during a physics exam once, so just straight up cried. I'm not an engineer, guys. Crush that
like
dream real quick.
That's okay. I feel like you're not alone.
No, but I like had like I entered that class like having the ambition of like being an engineer, and it was AP, but it just tanked. God. Like, anyways, yeah. I was just talking about this terrible memory like yesterday, so that's why it's fresh on my brain. Damn it, this will be a fun dream tonight.
So I feel like you're not alone there. I feel like other people have cried during physics exams.
Hate physics? Hit me up.
I feel like I cried like during college algebra, not even physics.
Yeah, it wasn't the first test I cried on.
Also, college algebra was the only class that I ever failed in my life. And my guidance counselor asked me what happened. I said, I didn't want to take a math class my senior year.
Letters don't belong in math. That was my dad's theory. Pretty smart.
Okay. So, yeah, I was a physics teacher, I think, in psychology. So, as we're all going around, the teacher of the class goes to us, like, it was like he kind of, like, interrupted us. He's like, well, guys, it doesn't matter because it's all fake. Like, it's not real. Your degree, your class, your doctorate, like, all fake. Oh, shit. Everything's a simulation. I'm going to show you how to use it. And I'm just like, whoa. What the fuck? Like, okay. Like, and, like, we're all just sitting there, like, silent. Like, what, this man is crazy. Like, what are we in? Like, what did we sign up for? Especially like these bitches with doctorate level degrees. I mean, that's a lot of money, and you're sitting here telling me like it don't matter, right? In my dream, I did not have the doctorate, but like these other ones, that's what I was thinking. I'm like, I mean, wow, shit, you got any kind of degree, and someone goes up to you and is like, this shit don't matter. This is all fake.
All right, well, my school loans ain't fake, so
So do I just stop paying them then?
Monopoly money then. Yeah.
Uh,
This is a nightmare for me so far, Lord. Okay, so he's like, all right, this is a simulation.
so everything's a simulation. I'm going to show you how to use it. Then the man starts like teaching us, like just starts talking, and like I'm not like really paying attention. Like just in my head, I'm like, what the fuck? Like that's all I feel like I kept like thinking in my dream was like, what is going on?
Mm-hmm.
So then he starts to like fade away. It's like he just keeps getting like lighter and lighter and lighter.
Mm-hmm.
And then like he's gone and he left us there. So we're all in this class and I'm like, dude, forget this. Like I'm out of here. This man's crazy. So I left and I go to pick up Molly. And a few others like left like alongside with me as well. But like some people stayed. Like I felt like there was more, like the guy was gonna come back, but I was like, I can't handle this. Like this man just disappeared. He's telling me that like my whole life is just a lie. Like I just gotta go get my kid. Um so next thing, I'm standing in the front yard at the house that I grew up in. And I look down the road to my neighbor who I went to school with.
Mm-hmm.
And they were putting a pool in their front yard. Though, like, in real life, they had a pool in their backyard, but they were putting one in their front yard in this dream. So I'm standing in my driveway, and I was like, well, if this isn't real and like it's all a simulation stuff, I could just fly down the road, like
Mm-hmm.
to them to like ask them how it's going, what they're doing, and whatnot. And
Ooh.
so in my dream, I
It's a little
did,
like
but
little
it's not.
lucid-ish. I
But
know, but
it's not. It's
still.
like it's a simulation inside the dream that It's weird. So I like flew down like 2 houses down and like I landed, but it wasn't like a graceful flying. It was like just like awkwardly floating like through the air, and it was like, man, then
Wait,
like that's what
were you standing upright or were you like flying like a bird?
a little bit of like I tried going like a bird, but then I'd be upright. Like it was just like
So it was like, yeah,
I was just all
okay.
over the place. Like I should have stayed in that class and learned how to control the simulation.
Man,
So
you're just like, screw it. None of it mattered. So you thought, okay.
yes. Okay. Sorry, I have to like keep drinking stuff because I just had like Molly's cold, so I'm like all I sound better today, but I'm still like,
Yeah.
cold stuff. Okay. So I get down there, like in their yard, I land or whatever. I don't know. I landed. I didn't like crash. So, and like they didn't even question me like flying down the road, like at all. It's like they didn't even see me fly. Like I just was there.
I mean, I'm so excited to tell you my thoughts on this dream. I mean, it's not a big deal, but it's kind of a big epiphany. But go ahead.
Yeah, so they didn't even question it. They just told me about the pool that they're putting in. So, like, next thing I know, I'm back at my house, and my cousin Megan shows up, and she's like, hey, I brought you these sheets, like bed sheets. And I was like, okay, thanks. Didn't question that at all. And then we started drinking, like, just like drinking, like a night, like hanging out, like whatever. And she cracked her phone this night as well, which isn't like that big of an important fact, but it does kind of play into something a little later.
Mm-hmm.
And then we went for a walk like downtown, or it was like in this small town or something. And the one guy that was with us, he got like sucked into this apartment. Like this apartment's like big front window. Like he got just like sucked into the window. We like had to get him out somehow. And I don't know like how, but like in my head, I was like, well, this is all part of the simulation or something. Like this is just a test to see if we can, like the guy just went through a window and it didn't break.
Right.
So he got sucked in an apartment. And we got him out somehow. And like when he got back to us, all he said was like, wow, like I want to do that again. He's like, that was awesome. And that's what I'm like still thinking. I'm like, okay, maybe this all really is just simulation. Like nothing matters. Like so next I'm at my grandma's and my mom is there and she's all mad because my uncle didn't get the pool heater for my grandma's pool. And my dad, he's hungover, so he's like, I don't want to put that in today. So like my mom's just angry at everybody, and I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna go shopping with my 3 friends. Like, I'm just gonna let this fizzle out. Like, I don't know how to do a pool heater, so I'm just gonna leave. So I left and I went to Goodwill to meet up with them. And this was a very, very large Goodwill. And this is what I wanted to mention up when you were talking before. I have dreamt about shopping in Goodwills like 3 or 4 times, which just seems weird. Like, I really love a Goodwill trip. I love thrifting. Like, I do love do that, but I don't know. I think it's weird for in my dream I have been in a Goodwill that many times. All right. Haynes making notes. So this is a very, very large Goodwill, and I'm walking around, and I just keep thinking how, like, this isn't real. Like, nothing here really matters. Like, this isn't real. Like, I'd touch things and just be like, this isn't real. I find a phone case and a cover, and I was like, well, I'll buy this for Megan. And that's all that phone, like, really, like, came into play in my dream. But it was just funny that I remembered her cracking it, and then I was like, oh, look, I bought her a phone case and a screen protector or whatever. So then I'm looking through these purses, and I'm like, man, like, all of a sudden I could feel, like, that the, like spinning. And it was like I could feel the earth spinning. And I was just getting, like, so, like, dizzy. And I was so confused about, like, what was real and, like, what wasn't. And, like, then I woke up from my dream, like, after, like, feeling like I was spinning. Like, that was it.
Did you, when you woke up, were you, like, dizzy or nauseous or anything?
No.
No. Okay. So, have you talked to me before that you felt like the world might be a simulation or something? Have you talked to me about this before?
I feel like I've talked about this I feel like everybody has talked about this before once in their life.
Well, it's funny because my brother told me this not too long ago, and how there's, like, theories, like, these great, like, Elon Musk is one of them who, like, thinks we live in a simulation. So these, like, physics, like, gurus and, like, engineers and people that, like, are into quantum physics and all this crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Basically, like, real life Big Bang Theory people who didn't cry on a physics test in high school. Yeah. Yeah, so it's kind of funny to me that in your dream you were either a physics teacher or, like, a psychology teacher. Like, it's interesting how, like, it was rather relevant to the rest of your dream.
Yeah.
Like, it was very logical.
I didn't think
about
like,
that, creeping me out. Like, like, you're in a simulation. Like, we're in a simulation. And, like, was your dream, like, was it a simulation or, like, was it real life? And you were in, like, another part of the Matrix.
Okay.
Now I'm, like, all kinds of freaked out.
No. So when I went to research this dream, it opened up, like, this whole other, like, whole different ballgame of searching. And these things came up and I started reading them and I was like, whoa, like, I can't even get into this. I was like, I really want to talk about this dream though. And I am, but if I would have, I can't, like, I am one time gonna, like, research all of this that, like, because then it's
like a dedicated episode.
Yes.
This is probably oh my god, I'm blanking right now. Episode for the thingy-majigger.
Patreon?
Yeah. Great pitch there, guys. Yeah, I know.
The thingy-majiggy. Like, there's people that believe that dreams themselves are, like, just a whole nother, like, are just a virtual reality in their self. Like,
or like Inception type thing. Yeah, I mean,
yes.
I just watched that the other day. If you guys have not seen Inception with Leonardo DiCaprio, get on that. It is mind-blowing.
Which
really spinny and trippy. But,
like, and then, like, I feel like when I do talk about when I research that to figure out what I even was, like, starting to read, I feel like I might, I don't know, like, the Inception and listen, my mind is just a little bit, like, I knew when I was going to get here, I was going to get all caught up in my words because I was like, what the fuck? I also have never seen The Matrix, and I need to watch that.
I need to watch it again as an adult. I was gonna say as a human.
See,
As
look,
an adult.
you're a fucking lizard person. Just
I
kidding.
know. I mean, shit. Now I wish this was not just a LaCroix right now, guys. I'm chugging my LaCroix.
So, but yeah, so this opened up a whole new like can of worms that I didn't know existed, which is like my favorite thing that happens on this podcast is like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell? Like, you just learn, like, we're learning.
Yeah, that was probably like one of my favorite dreams you've ever had.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was very, it was like, it's just it was a very logical like dream for it being a dream. Like it was like as if somebody wanted to write a short, like a Black Mirror episode on Netflix. Guys, we watch so much Netflix. I'm like, I guess I don't watch cable though, so
I don't
like
either.
I watch Netflix. It's like to the point if I were to go on like a job interview, they'd be like, so what do you like do for fun? What are your hobbies? It's just like Netflix is now a perfectly acceptable answer, I guess. But if it's like your dream was a Black Mirror episode, like if somebody's writing an episode for, or like if you guys don't know Black Mirror, like the Twilight Zone.
I've seen
Like
Black Mirror.
it just made that much. I feel like if it was like a mini-sode of something, it like the ideas connected and it made sense, which doesn't always happen for dreams typically.
Virtual reality. What the? Now I can't even figure out what I was Googling that all of that crazy shit came up.
I would just go back because it's going to be another episode. I would just go back through your
Yeah, I
history
will.
when we're
I
done.
just wanted to say what the name of the thing that came up, but sorry guys. That'll just be a surprise for next time. But when I was looking, good old Auntie Flo had me. she had what I was like actually looking for or expected to was like look for this dream. So I just did like one little like tidbit from her page. So if you dream of like a virtual reality or simulation, like positive changes are ahead of you if you dreamt about saving someone in your virtual reality dream. Which I felt like I did because that man got pulled into the window. I just like to reach for positive stuff in my dreams though.
I do too. I'll like keep looking until like the website, it's not objective. I need to get a book. I'm gonna get a translation book so that I don't keep Googling for what is relevant. Because I can do both. But
and then a few other ones, which this first one that you're just gonna throw out the window. Some other signs of positive change are eating grapes in simulation. So specific.
I mean, come on, that's bullshit.
No bullshit, Auntie Flo.
Auntie Flo, I don't know about that.
The next one is had sex with someone or decorated your home. The other one I didn't put in here, but it was like hanging lights up, which is another very specific one. I really enjoyed the eating grapes one though. Like, what if you're like lounging and someone's fanning you and just feeding you grapes?
Yeah, that's like what I picture, I guess. No, I've never eaten grapes in my dream. No,
I haven't either. But you have to be eating grapes in a simulation in your dream.
Yeah, the fuck? Come on. Please, anybody listening to this, ask everybody, you know, if they've ever had a freaking dream about eating grapes in a simulation.
I love making you angry. That's why I added that. I wasn't even gonna like add any of this, but I was like, no, Maine's gonna hate this eating grapes thing. So I'm
even sober right now. Shit. And I'm getting angry. Oh man. Well, I mean, I guess you do you. I mean, I'm how happy for the grape eaters and their freaking simulations, but I'm actually kind of jealous that someone's dreaming about eating grapes in a simulation. Like, I'm just fascinated by this simulation dream. Yeah, I want to hear more. Whoever else has simulation dreams. Leonardo DiCaprio, if you're listening, Elon Musk, if you're listening out there, I'd love to interview you for our podcast.
About dreams, man. I gotta
You
go.
see how that would go?
I have so much. I don't know. I just have to go back and read about all these articles that I was clicking. And then I was like, Jaynee, stop. You're not going to throw this like random ass shit into this episode.
I'm still picturing me, Elon Musk, and Leonardo DiCaprio all together, bullshitting about dreams. And then you come in, you're like, hey, I'm Jaynee. That'd be a great podcast episode.
Wait, so I just come in like later, like around this 30-minute mark. I'm like, hey!
Yeah. Because I want my own time with Leo.
I mean, you can do it.
You can have Elon, that's fine.
You could do it yourself. You can just have one-man show dream. I'd like to see you set it all up, though.
I can't even talk on a video.
Nope.
I can't even tweet. I am getting a little more active on Instagram. So maybe I can figure that out. No, yeah, that's why I'm just sitting here laughing, because I'd be like, hey, Elon. It's like smartest man in the fucking world. And I'd be like, wouldn't even like know how to like start and record. He'd be like, Jesus.
What did I agree to come on?
Okay, anyway, sorry guys.
Who wants to be Haynes' first guest?
I'm in my own little simulation here. I'm good. I'm really good, guys. Oh man. Maybe not. I think Elon or Leo personally, but okay. So anyways. Well, that was a good one. I like that.
Sorry.
Well, okay.
Forgot you can hear everything. Okay.
Well, I guess I'm up now.
You are.
Ding, 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 ding. Okay, so I am my dream, a little bit of some trigger warnings. It's not really sad, but kind of, it's kind of about a family member, if you have a family member who is sick, I guess, or, is that a transplant, like an organ transplant? Those are probably the couple things there.
Gotcha.
I'm probably more sensitive to this because I used to work on a transplant service. So, but anyways, that's it. So, in my dream, my dream's focused around this little boy. I didn't dream. I mean, title of my dream is kidney transplant kid. So that's not really a very creative title. I missed the titling memo, guys.
Well, so when I was uploading our shows to YouTube, I was like kind of trying to make sure that it was the right episode and stuff. Kind of, you know.
Well, that's what I do on my phone now. Like that's like where I put my dreams now. So I'll just start labeling.
We got a dream mail, and you're like, oh, they named their dream. They titled their dream, and like we got so excited over it.
I forgot about that. I'm such a nerd.
So then, like, as we research more, like, titling your dreams helps you remember your dreams. Like,
it does.
You started titling, and I was like, we never went back and did that. I was, like, embarrassed going back and listening to, like, the first episodes.
Episode 00.
Oh, man.
That one was rough, my God.
It's on the good old Patreon.
We've come so far. Clearly. Okay, so my dream is focused around this little boy who's had a kidney transplant. And by little boy, he's probably like maybe 10, give or take. Mm-hmm. I don't know. We'll say between 8 and 10. So I am really, really good friends with this kid in my dream. I do not know who this person is supposed to be in real life. I don't know when I've ever met them. I feel like they're probably a character in a movie or on Netflix if I had to guess, but not of anything I've watched recently.
I wish Netflix gave us $1 for every time we said Netflix.
I mean, my God, seriously, like crazy. So I was really good friends with this little boy in my dream. But I also felt like I just met him in my dream, but I guess we like really hit it off and we're great friends. So the start of the dream, we're sitting in a restaurant and I'm at a table with probably like 10 other people. So it's kind of like a big family style table. And the restaurant is in the food court of the mall, but it's like in a restaurant stemming off the food court. And I can't remember exactly what they were serving, but I got a cultural vibe. So there was like some kind of cultural theme, like either like Mexican or like Italian or something.
Mm-hmm.
I remember thinking like in my dream how it was funny that we're supposed to be having this like nice dinner at like the food court of the mall. Because that's like not where I think about to go have a nice like Italian meal or something. But so in my dream, G was there, I remember, and then her little brother Brandon and his girlfriend was there, and then their mom eventually joined. Um, and there's a bunch of other people, but I don't remember who else was there. So I was sitting next to the kid, and the kid's name was never mentioned. And we were all just like talking, having a really nice time. And it was like we were celebrating something. And it turns out we were celebrating like the 1 year that since he got his kidney transplant.
Mm-hmm.
And we at one point they like brought the waitress brought like a tray of macaroons, like those fancy little cookies.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody like went to cheers the macaroons.
Yeah, that's
Like
cute.
instead of like how you would cheers a drink.
Yeah,
Like
I
that's
like
what I was
that.
like, what are we celebrating? And we're celebrating his like I said, and 1 year kidney transplant. So but in the dream, at this point, I had like each person got like one little macaroon and there was a macaroon.
See, I didn't hear the bidding that time. It's
Oh,
weird.
weird. So my friend had a macaroon on his plate and I went on my plate and I like quickly stole his like real quick without him seeing like hee like giggling and like took a little bite of it and then he like went and stole mine from off of my plate and he was like, sorry, I stole your macaroon. And I was like, hee, that's okay. I stole yours too. And we were just like giggling like and I felt like the genuine like affection and like happiness in that moment, like in my dream. So then when everybody went to cheers the macaroon, like we each had like a bite out of our macaroon already. And I remember thinking when I went to cheers, like, oh shoot, like we need to be careful because he's on and when you're a transplant recipient, when you have someone else's organ, you have to take medicines that so that your body doesn't reject that organ.
Yes.
And in your medicines, you can weaken your immune system.
Okay.
So I in my dream, like I knew that and I remember thinking like, oh, if my half-eaten macaroon touches his, like I might give him my germs. Or what if I give him like coronavirus? And was just kind of worried about that. Typical me. So and then the mood oh, and then I remember like looking around and it was like everybody in the table was in the restaurant was celebrating at that time. So it's like everybody knew this kid. Everybody was really happy. It was like grandparents, older people, and then the mood kind of like shifted and then it's everybody was talking about him like how wonderful he was and like how great of a kid he was and like how much they really missed him so the mood shifted like it was like a memorial service like he had passed away um and then the kid like disappeared so I was like well he was like just here next to me like what is going
Hmm.
on like what was he like really sick? Like maybe his kidney was like failed or he got sick or something and he didn't tell me. So I was like really upset and I was just like, I don't know what's going on. Like, all right, everybody, well, like I'm gonna leave, I'll see you later. So I walked outside the restaurant and um but right outside the restaurant was like a memorial service again. So it's like things continued and there was like a big group of people sitting around in a circle and there was like a food truck right outside of it and that was like also a little bar and it was like all the regulars were outside sitting in a circle like almost like on boxes, like crates.
Milk crates.
Yeah, like it was like very like makeshift, like real chill, like everybody just kind of, somebody threw it together.
Yeah.
And I was also kind of confused because, like, mind you, this he was a child, so it's like everybody's at like this bar, like he's a regular and like all like talking about him, and I was confused by that. And then at one point, I remember looking at this sign in my dream. I can't remember what the name was, but the sign of like the bar restaurant brought me back like a memory of him in my dream. And when you think about someone who's gone and who's passed away, for example, and it's like you remember a memory and then you're like sad but happy, like you're like crying, then you like laugh
Yeah.
about it, and like, oh, like that son of a bitch, like, you like
Mhm.
laugh about it. And that's what I did in my dream because it like sparked a memory with me and this kid. And I remember reading that sign, and it was like some kind of man's name, like Lionel Richie, or like had like Richie in the name. And then whatever name it was, the matching celebrity like walked by with somebody, and they were like, this kid was like so inspirational. This like celebrity came to like the memorial service too. But it bugs me so bad I can't remember who it is. It was somebody like Eddie Murphy or like Lionel Richie. Like
Those
it's
are two very different people.
I know, but it was one of those two people, I think, because those are the only two like I can remember and think about. I think it was Lionel Richie though, but I have no clue where that came
Do
from.
you watch The Voice? Isn't he on The Voice?
I do not watch The
I
Voice.
don't
I
watch
don't
it
even
either.
watch like I don't know.
I don't watch
Um,
cable either.
yeah,
We
I
just talked about this.
don't know. Um, so then as we say, fast forward our next chapter in the dream that still revolved around this kid. I was in this neighborhood. I was at my old babysitter's house, and it was in Rolling Hills, which is a neighborhood where in the town that we grew up in.
Mhm.
And I need to make a note real quick. Okay. So I was at my babysitter's house, and I'm again, this is one of those things that the more I'm doing this, like I dream about this house a fair amount in the last year. I've probably had a handful of dreams at my babysitter's house. And so at this point in the dream, I was like in the backyard in the back porch waiting for the kid to get off the bus, like that same boy. And this is another moment. I've had another dream about waiting for the bus to get dismissed. And I like was the teacher in that dream, but then I
Yeah.
also felt like I was supposed to get on the bus, so I was like very torn. And that's kind of like how I felt in this dream. I was waiting for him to get off the bus. So like I was like the adult role in this dream, I guess. But then I also felt like I was going to miss the bus. Weird. So I don't know. So then he got off the bus, and so did Vicky, who, if you guys remember our prior episode about how we went off about how much we loved riding the bus when we were kids to school. So our old elementary school bus driver got off with the little boy in my dream, and then she had a little girl with her, and the little girl was hers, I remember, but the boy like wasn't hers, but it's like she adopted him or was like watching him, so it wasn't hers, meaning like she wasn't the biological mom.
Yeah.
But she was somehow like linked to him. So it's like I waited for him to get off just to like make sure he like safely went to her. And then I remember stopping her and saying, like I got this strong urge to like tell her like what a wonderful kid he was and how great of a job she did like helping to raise him, and just how like, what a wonderful impact he made on everybody. And then I felt the urge to tell her what a great bus driver she was. So Vicky, if you're listening, because you were, and like what an inspiration she was to all of us and how much of an impact she made on us. Because in my dream, I remembered that like we talked about that before, and I was like, wow, I'm dreaming about Vicky again. Like I really feel the need to tell her like how much of an impact she made on us. And then I woke up. And I always feel like when I have that moment of clarity in my dream, I wake up right after that. Because that happened to me in the ring dream.
Yeah.
So that's another thing I'm noticing. Um, and that was it. So, yeah.
So this is not really to do with your dream, but like the moment of clarity thing, when you said like you woke up, do you mean like you actually physically wake up?
Yeah, so like that's the last thing I remember when I look back at the dream. So I like physically woke up, I guess.
Okay.
Because
So
I don't have
that's
any
like I
memory
want to
beyond that.
start like it was just hard for me to do because sometimes like when you wake up and you don't really want to like wake up in the middle of the night, but there are times I wake up in the middle of a dream or at the end of a dream, and I want to start to try to make notes of that like when I
Yeah.
can, when my body
Yeah,
allows it.
right. So it's like I don't know if it just went on to it, like that was the end of the memory, the end of the like I
Yeah.
don't know. Um, so the biggest take home point, the biggest thing for me from this dream was like I felt such an incredibly strong connection to this kid as if like it was a family member who had passed away.
Yeah.
Like that is the sense, like when I've dreamt about family members who have passed away and you have that sense of either happiness or sadness in the dream. Like that's what I felt for this kid. And I have no idea who this kid was. So it's kind of
Hmm.
like eerie to me. Um and
It's heartbreaking though, because like he was there, and then like next thing you know, like he just was
yeah,
gone.
like I almost get like a little bit teary-eyed right now like thinking
Yeah.
about it. And it's just so bizarre cuz I have no idea who this child is.
Hmm.
And like I said, it's kind of eerie to me because I don't know like if at one point in my life I'm going to like, meet this child or will I have a child and my child will look like that and I'm just going to be like, "Whoa."
Yeah, like circling back to like the beginning, what we were talking about. Are do dreams tell us more than
Right.
they do, or what?
And I'm not in so if you guys don't, so I'm in medicine. I'm a PA and I used to work in a transplant service, but like I didn't work with kids. I didn't work with kidney transplant. So it's not I don't work with pediatric patients, so it's not like it's not a patient I've had, which is
Yeah.
something like I would think if I was listening to the stream, like, but it's not it. Um, so I don't know. Again, my guess is that it was somebody from a movie or a show, maybe that I get very like wrapped up into shows. Like
Same.
I
I
get
get
very
very
emotionally
attached.
connected. So yeah. Um, so just doing a little bit of insight. I thought it was interesting. It was like a kidney transplant, like very specific.
Hmm.
So this is like I think a new website for me, but it's like cafesoul.com. Um,
Sounds
it's
like
like
one I'd like.
CAFEAUSOUL.com. I don't know how to pronounce it. It says the kidneys are associated with how the body removes toxins. Dreaming of kidneys can be portraying the idea that you need to process something or how your own feelings can be toxic. A good flush may be in order, and you may need to release old feelings that no longer serve you. Um, which is kind of very interesting to me given the subject of the dream. Um, so I don't know if it's like, old memories or things like that or like sadness that you need to like get rid of.
Just like process
Um,
out and everything. Yeah.
and this is something I've been like really focusing on for myself, just how your own feelings can be toxic. And I've really been telling like a lot of people in my life about this and like patients of mine. I think because the pandemic and I've seen how it like how not handling our mental health can really impact our physical health, like
Hmm.
not taking care of ourselves. I mean, um it's pretty overwhelming. So I thought that was an interesting and relevant
Yeah.
um interpretation. And I kind of need to do better at this. I try to be objective, so I don't, it's not, I said earlier, I sit there and I Google for like appropriate interpretations, but I usually just try to do like the best version of an interpretation, like not some sketchy kind of random website. You can see some weird stuff out there. Um, but I probably need to start throwing in some more random interpretations that might not directly correlate to my dream, like the
Yeah.
grades, to for the sake of objectivity, I guess. But the other thing I kind of picked apart from this was the another dream about a school bus. So because I've dreamed about this now a few times.
Mhm.
Um, so there's a lot of different things that a school bus can represent. And this is from good old Auntie Flo. So missing your bus can show worry over an area in your life, specifically with work or travel. Um, and missing a bus can indicate that you actually need to slow down in your waking world, which is pretty relevant for me. And that's something I've been really trying to do. Um, and I think just like my own interpretation, both times I dreamt about the school bus, I was like the adult role in the dream, but I was like very torn on if I was supposed to be getting on the bus or not. So I
Yeah.
almost feel like it's like at this point in our lives, like I'm in my 20s, soon to be older. So, in the next decade. So you're kind of in this awkward transition phase where it's like, I almost feel like you're playing house half the time. Like you're supposed to be a responsible adult and then you don't know what the hell you're doing half the time.
Mhm.
And the more people I talk to who are older than me say it's kind of always that way. So,
Yeah. I feel like that's
um,
what you just figure out as you keep getting older. Like, oh, no one
yeah,
knows. No one knows what they're
yeah,
doing.
you just kind
I
of,
get it.
yeah.
You just
So,
keep doing the same shit. Just your age just keeps getting a little more.
right.
That's all.
So, for the sake of objectivity, another interpretation I found was interesting about school buses was they brought up the idea of try to think about what a school bus symbolizes to you personally. So, for some people, like if a bus is your main form of transportation because you don't have that choice, like because you don't have a car, some people do
Hmm.
you see the bus as something that's like limiting you and it's, a goal of yours to, you know, maybe you have your own car one day. Some people see it as like a status symbol. I mean, I've rode the bus plenty in college when I didn't have a car. So this is just a point I'm making. I'm not judging anyone who rides the bus. But it's just kind of, if you dream about school buses personally, like just think about what is that symbolizing for you. So that's
Gotcha.
all. Yeah. I don't know, I thought
Nice.
that was an interesting take. And not
Yeah.
even on a school bus, but just on things in general.
Hmm.
Like I kind of look at more like what does the item or what does that idea like translate to rather than like maybe what is that symbol? What is that symbolizing,
Yeah.
if that makes sense?
I gotcha.
So yeah, anyways, that's that. That's what I got.
Thanks for sharing that one. I feel like you finally shared like a sadder one.
I
Yeah,
know,
I'm like
yeah.
just sad. Like I feel like I just watched like a movie and like my favorite character like died, like he gone. He
Yeah, I mean,
gone. I didn't mean to say it like that, but like he just disappeared. Like
I
ew, I don't like that
I
feeling.
bet
It just
it
gives
will
me like
dawn
an
on
eerie
me.
feeling.
Yeah, I bet it will dawn on me. I bet it's from like a movie or something that I watched, but I haven't watched it recently. So
Yeah.
that's weird to me. If it was probably something like when I was a teenager or something.
Hmm.
Anyways, yeah.
Um, the other thing I want to mention, because you were talking about like mental health and like physical health, like how it impacted this past year.
Mhm.
So I feel like I'm not alone with this. Everyone just keeps fucking posting on Facebook like last year, this was our last normal week, and none of us knew it. Like all like just all this stupid stuff about like because it was, I get
Mhm.
it. But like so this past week I felt so like weird. Like I just was like I'm off. Like you know what I mean? Like it was just like
Mhm.
it wasn't like I was really sad or something. I just was like
Maybe
something's
that's
off.
I said to someone today it feels like it's still a full moon.
And then I was like, it's definitely because everyone keeps posting that shit. Like, I feel like I'm kind of like going back into like my little bubble. And I'm not saying I'm
Mhm.
going out and like partying and doing all this shits and whatnot,
Yeah.
but like, just we're moving. Can we move forward? Can we stop going backwards to that little thing?
And
Like,
this is
let's
where,
just.
yeah, like I encourage, and that's we kind of joke like how I'm terrible with social media and I don't like it. And honestly, for me, that's a big part of it because I like for the sake of protecting. mental health and your peace. Like,
Yeah.
I tend to absorb other people's energy quite easily, and that really affects me mentally, and that's something I've learned about myself. So that's why I kind of stay away from social media. So,
Yeah,
it's
that makes sense.
a good example of
Yeah.
that, but then I'm lucky to have people like Jaynee and my other friends who, so I'm not like socially inept, and otherwise people try to talk about things and I live under a rock. So, because I'm not on social media, but that's true. I mean, yeah, it is. I guess it's almost been just about a year ago.
Yeah. Listen, you commented on something twice today on social media, on Facebook.
Yeah, so I said I've been a little
Twice.
bit more active.
Yeah,
I've
I was like, oh, look at this.
and
There's
it's just
like memories that pop up, guys. Like this isn't like a new thing for Hayne. It's always been like this.
mhm.
Or like I commented on there, like, oh look, you're making your once a week trip to Facebook, or you've
Yep.
wrote on my wall like, haha, just making my yearly trip over to Facebook. Like it's just we're stupid. I
Yeah,
know
I
it's
don't know what
no
it
one
is.
play it,
Yeah.
but
And I think I've never been a big fan of social media, and I just don't think I ever knew why. And the more kind of like introspective I've become, especially in the last year, I've figured out that's why.
yeah.
I think. Um, but yeah, so that's if you get a like or you get something from me on social media, man, either Mercury's in retrograde or it's a solar eclipse or I'm bored. I really like you. We'll go with that.
I'm bored. I like that you put I really like you at the last, like, oh, are you now? Like, I just like you. There you
Sometimes I wonder that because if I notoriously tell people like I'm never, because people will start with like, oh well, you might have seen me on Facebook, and I'm like, no, I don't really go on Facebook, and I wonder if they think I'm a liar if they see me like comment or like something, and like that bitch, she just like never likes my stuff.
She
And
just
it is
didn't
just,
want.
I'm sorry, but it is kind of truly random. I'm getting better though.
She is.
I'm getting better, guys.
I feel like
Once
we've been
I'm
saying
actually
that for the past
consistently
10
with
years.
it.
But...
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, good.
Well, thank you guys for listening. If you could leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, because it really helps us out. Don't forget to send us. Why am I echoing all of a sudden? But hey,
You're not
don't.
on my end.
Okay. Don't forget to send us your dreams to us at. Send us your dreams. Send us them.
your dreams. Dreams
Send us them.
Send dreams.
Send
Dreams,
at
please.
WTF Did I Dream Last Night at gmail.com. And follow us on our Instagram, Twitter.
Or post it on my Facebook wall and maybe I'll see it. And I'm just kidding.
She'll see it in a year or two.
Yes.
Man, it was like I haven't ever said any of those words before.
Yes.
Sorry,
see,
guys.
Just a week. It's just a week.
Go back
All
and
right.
listen to the last episode if you want to really know what I meant by all of that at the end. Go listen to the end of the last episode. You know what? I'm going to stop.
Alrighty, I will take it from here. Well, thank you guys for listening. And until next time, happy dreaming. Bye. You couldn't even get that. Damn.